Okay.
From the time Julian was about 2 years old and old enough to sit in somebody's lap and look through a book, I believe he began with his grandfather, my dad, who has several different types of field guides. I think Julian was about 2 years old when he first started looking through those field guides, and just even though he couldn't read, he just studied the pictures from cover to cover.
I got a herpetologist lab back here. Right there, we're finished with the walls. We're gonna put reptiles and amphibians in it.
He wants to take a walk down to the creek and basically overturn some rocks and logs and see if we can find some salamanders or lizards. Maybe we can walk through the creek and find some crawfish. Just about anything we can find is going to be exciting for him. He's going to want to make one of them as pets. Let him know that they're best left with their family in the wild.
Green and old and southern toads and spadefoots, king snakes.
That's hanging over from the edge of that?
Mm-hmm. All the great stuff needs to be cut off?
No, it doesn't. Just what's hanging over.
We're going to put TV tables and put the reptiles on there like Julian's chameleon.
The love for animals and the outdoors became a concentration on reptiles. So that became his favorite thing, just a passion for reptiles. Eventually, he wanted a pet. He wanted a pet reptile. I wasn't quite ready for a snake in the house, but I gave in to letting him have a gecko. And it's been a good pet. They're docile, easy to take care of, and Julian loves it.
I got a bunch of pets. I got a fire-bellied toad, a Jackson horned chameleon, and a leopard gecko. I really do like geckos. And like the leaf gecko, the day gecko. Day geckos live in Madagascar. My favorite country in the world is South America. I really like some of the frogs in South America and geckos in South America.
I don't really know why Julian's interested in reptiles. Just from the very beginning, it was always an interest in fish, sharks. It was anything with big teeth. And finally, it was just walking out in the woods and knowing what was out there, and just an interest in it. He was especially interested in snakes. He was always hunting lizards, salamanders, whatever he could find.
Here are some giant caterpillars. See, that is a black swallowtail.
Julian convinced his principal to let him visit the kindergarten classrooms, could teach other kids about reptiles, and he sincerely hopes he can get other kids to like reptiles more. So the kids get really excited, and the teachers really appreciate him bringing them.
This is a Jackson horned chameleon. He's turning a pretty color right now. They don't change their colors because they want to. They change their color by the temperature. This one's a boy. They eat crickets and mealworms. I give him about 9 or 10. He's trying to catch one.
It eventually turned into not just bedtime stories, it was reference books and field guides. Sometimes maybe not the most interesting read, but Julian was certainly into it, and he always picked out what we read. So it wasn't a traditional bedtime story, but it was what he picked out. So he's got a room full of books about snakes, dinosaurs, and reptiles and amphibians, and Even especially in the spring and summertime, he would hunt frogs, lizards, reptiles, and if you ever found one that he wasn't sure about, he could always compare him to the pictures in his field guides and figure out what they were. Julian, why did you want to start taking your reptiles to school?
To encourage people so they get to know more about reptiles, and a lot of people don't really know about them.
It took a lot of courage on Julian's part to actually ask the principal if he could leave his class to go teach other kids. To me, it's just something that a lot of kids don't even think about doing, teaching. I mean, even in college, people have a problem with public speaking, yet Julian has no fear of it, especially when it comes to speaking about reptiles in front of a classroom full of his peers. I think kids are scared of snakes, scared of reptiles in general a lot, and I think he's helping them overcome some of those fears. Teachers at Julian's school come up to me and tell me thank you for letting Julian bring his reptile to school, because they have often never seen one in real life themselves, and they just think it's also a really good learning experience.
And I'll give the rest to the gecko. Is there any more in there? Nope. That's all.